Good, Charlie. What's up?
Feeling in your pores, I'm excellent like a mole. Systematic oppression, leaving families torn. We was kings and queens the minute we was born. Treat us like a pawn, imperialize the lawns. If we ain't bearing arms, how we really strong? How we gon' go to war if our pockets ain't long? Create a black Wall Street, then they dropping a bomb. Manipulate the weather, then creating a storm. Hanging is a norm if you don't wanna conform. Now cases is adjourned without a concern. Racism ain't genetic, it's gotta be learned. That the jail was where they need to be without a return. They say it's free for freedom. Simply gotta be earned. Constitution and old ways. Simply gotta be burned as the world turns. Research cause you gotta discern. Study up, cause there's always knowledge to learn. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor. Why they claim peace instead they giving us war? True Aliyah's in my core, his principles not ignored. Love, truth, and peace is worthy to be explored. Freedom and justice essential so we can soar. As above, so below ain't a motto, but it's a law. Geometry sacred is power can open doors. Why they mention this slavery, but not what happened before. If you want me to vote, reparations they need restored. We deserve more instead of beating down on the floor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a Moor, like a
Islam, what's going on?
Islam, would it be like more bite?
What's good? Shit, man. I'm all right. You already know. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Good. Good.
cool.
Shit, man. How was your week, man? I ain't heard from you in a second, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Life taking so many paths and shit, so many
indeed,
directions. You feel me?
indeed, man. Just trying to get, ain't doing nothing but getting the house orchestrated and transitioning, man. How was yours?
Oh shit, man. Very very interesting. Like every weekend, like every day. You know what I'm saying? In my line of work, man, it's always a new twist and turn for real.
I get it. I get it.
But
I,
but recently, man. Oh, go ahead. What you was gonna say?
no, I said I get it. I'm listening to you. You want to get into something?
Oh well, shit, man. Basically, we like to start the show off with a little segment known as America Grows Some Fucking Balls. And
Gross.
I think that truth be told, I would like to, introduce the people, or not introduce the people because we already hip, but say one thing to the people that it's a major need for the true American Moors, the true American Aboriginals, the true American Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Like the true people who were misnomered Negro, Black, colored African Americans to unite. And truth be told, over the weekend, it really showed. You understand what I'm saying? It really proved my point that I always talk about when it deals with like collectivism and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This Javante Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, because all the Mexicans for sure was standing behind Ryan Garcia, even though he's a
That's a
Mexican,
fact.
even though he's a Mexican who can't even speak Spanish. You understand what I'm saying? And they was all behind, and it was a lot of fragmentation in our community. It was a lot of, you know. Now, I mean, I get it on the aspect of actually knowing and watching boxing. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that were just, not really fans of the sport, you know what I'm saying, and just commenting and shit like that, and not really wanting to stand with Gervonta, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just shows the fragmentation, because of some, in an event like this is like showing that we need to stick together, and it shows that we don't. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I
Like,
think that Latinos and Spanish, especially Latino Americans and Spanish Americans, I think they're really stupid when they try and pick a side, knowing that at the end of the day, after us is them. Like they come after them just the same. I don't get it.
Yeah.
but but what the point I'm trying to make on that note is the simple fact that they do stick together. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
that's where they have their little political power. You know, like for instance, the prime example in the west side of Cleveland and shit. When you go over there by like 25th and like 25th and South and Central American as well as like island countries and their flags like represented on that street right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they have political power because they stuck together. You understand what I'm saying? And they push their agenda together. Whereas we don't really push our agenda together. You know what I'm saying? And then erroneously we thinking that we sticking together by people using the term black for themselves, but that's really throwing us under the bus. You know what I'm saying? And we don't even know it. So it's like, it's just a real crazy conundrum that we find ourselves in. What you think about that, Lo?
No, I agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more because my thing is this. I put it to you like this, and I give you a small story. I don't know if you good people ever heard of the story. What happened with Donald Trump? When remember he was talking about the Mexicans and the Latinos and things of that nature, right? He's talking about the
Right.
Spanish, specifically the Mexicans crossing the border. I don't know if a lot of people knew, but prior to him going into office, I don't know if you know who El Chapo is, but his son had actually gotten Donald Trump's number and threatened him to told him to stop talking about his people. Even
Mm.
in even within them doing crime organization, they got collectivism. He got Donald Trump's number and said and told him like, bro, you're not gonna keep on talking about my people. I don't give a fuck what's going on. His El Chapo's son did that. Like, bro, if I can get your number, just imagine I could touch you too. He had, and then Donald Trump got scared. Oh, well, the FBI, they can't do shit. You know what I'm saying, man? Just with that alone, within itself, is power. Even if we're doing wrong, the whole fact of the matter is that you come against us and you got to deal with all of us. That's how it should be. That's how it is. That's how it is. They get the sad part about it is we already know they got the game from us and they just took it and just ran with it. We just forgot that we done it.
Right. And you absolutely right. And it's time to get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you right on that aspect too, Ms. Decisive, that you know, but the whole thing about it, like it, it wasn't no research behind it, but yet and still they stuck by their own. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if we did that politically, you know what I'm saying, for like real true issues like that someone brings up, and we actually really stood behind it, that would give us so much more leverage just as a people, just in general, regardless of what we call ourselves. That would be the first step, but there's so many different fragmentations. So in these days and times, especially with the economy and different things that's going on, you know, they already, they're trying to, they're dealing out punishments against the former president, and then also throwing hellified allegations against the uh, so-called sitting administration as well. So it's like in this, steer of the country, it's only wise for a people to stand together, because
I
best believe all the other nationalities of people are sticking together because they see what's going on too. They got TV as well, and they got internet and TikTok, and you know what I'm saying, Instagram, Facebook, and a lot of them got WhatsApp, so they see what's going on. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? It's like we better pay attention. Like, man, these banks falling apart. Who would have thought that the banks is gonna fall apart? I mean, it's been prophesized forever. It's been talked about forever by economists and also so-called labeled conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? They always call people who talk the truth call them a conspiracy theorist to make everybody basically afraid of their information, so they turn away from it, so they never prepare for it. So it smack them in the mouth, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A soothsayer. They used to call them soothsayers too, I believe.
Soothsayers,
That's right.
nah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Soothsayer, how you say? What you mean?
Like as
Break
far as
that down.
conspiracy theories, people say
Okay.
hearsay allegedly soothsayers.
Mm, they call them soothsayer. That's new. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. New to me. I mean, obviously old because that's before they call it conspiracy theories. Damn,
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
something new today.
Yeah. Yeah. That
You
but
learn
no,
something new every day.
no, for real. And I agree with you. So and my thing is this. We're not gonna beat a dead horse. The fact of the matter is this: even in defeat, he still eloquently got represented by his people. Even in defeat, you see what I'm saying? And
By
that's just
most
so
of
something.
yeah, yeah,
That's just so something in power within itself. Because as long as you have an embodiment of people collectively behind you, doesn't matter what happens. If you can
right,
get back on the horse, hey, bro, I'm still with you. It don't matter, win, lose, or draw. And that's more powerful than anything. You can feel like you can go up against the world when you have things of that nature. Doesn't matter
right.
what the adversity is. And I think
To,
us as
to,
indigenous people, not to say we should learn, we gave in the game. We should go back to it. But I wanted to go and
Hold on once. Hey, give me. I'm sorry. Excuse me for a second, Low. I just wanted to backtrack just a little bit and just give definition to what you were saying as far as the soothsayer. The definition is a person who predicts the future by magical, intuitive, or more rational means.
yeah,
Prognosticator.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's what they used to call them. Yep.
mm, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
yep. That's
you're right.
crazy.
Precognitive, yeah, precognitive abilities and things like that, clairvoyant
Mhm.
and shit like that.
Yep.
Shit, I got something to talk about on that aspect. But what you was about to say, Lo?
No, I was No, you go ahead and talk about that. I was just gonna get into some of these subjects, but go ahead, man.
Go
We,
ahead.
we can talk
No,
about it a little
no,
bit.
no. It's a subject, but go ahead. You good?
Okay. So I wanted to talk about the situation. I don't know. Obviously, we're not football watchers, but I wanted to talk about my guy. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but the dude name is Hakimi. He gets paid like $1 million a month
What we
for the
do?
United Kingdom. He plays football or soccer. He's I want to say he's like 28 now.
His last name
Okay.
Ali.
No, 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 no. It's Hakimi.
Ali.
Hakimi. No, 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 no.
Islam, brother.
Islam,
Islam
brother.
Hakimi.
Islam.
Yeah, no, his name is Hakimi. I forgot his last name, but I wanted to expound upon his story. So pretty much what happened, he got with an older young lady. He got with an older young lady. Shout out to it. Shout out to his Umi. His Umi seemed to play develop in the backfield like a free safety. So what then happened is he married her. I think he amalgamated. They had some children, things of that nature. So what then happens is I say 12 years later. I want to say she's 36. He's 24. So I don't. I want to say 6 to 12,
Wife.
something like that.
His wife is 36.
Yeah, she's 12 years older than him. I think she talked to him when he was 18.
Oh, she dead wrong. Go ahead though. Well,
Right. So
what I'm about to say, she did wrong for it. I'm gonna wait till you finish though. I've got information about the story too.
okay. So long story short, what happens, to my knowledge, she then out of nowhere wants to sit up here and divorce him. Now keep in mind, a lot of people don't know. For those that don't know, soccer is the highest paid sport in the world. You got players that are getting paid at the age of 15 at least $1 million a month. That I'm just being modest. So the boy has been a professional soccer player since he was 18. He got like a $330 million contract. But finally decides that she wants to go ahead and divorce him. She gonna go divorce him. He goes to court.
She tried to make it seem like that she needs to distance herself from him, and if it come and basically she wants to get a divorce because she's trying to allude to that it's a possibility it can come back that this man has something to do not trying to be attached to him. But you
Okay.
go ahead and finish telling the story, though, Aki.
So thank you. I didn't know about that. Let me further expound. So after the divorce, she then, I'm gonna take him to the bank and I'm gonna do all this and do all that. She went to the divorce court or whatever they do. Went there. They went to divorce court. She tried to get him for everything. She couldn't get him from anything because he put everything in his mother's name. And I think he had. I want to say he had a trust.
Yeah, he did. The trust had been in existence though before he became like grown.
Hello, y'all still there?
B, C, and D, and he's not giving this, and he pretty much got out. I'm not gonna say he got out clean because that's saying like as if he did something bad. That's nothing bad that he had done. It was just she had no way to actually get something from him. So I would just wanted to expound on it and see how you, uh, good Keys felt about that situation because I've been brewing on the story, but I didn't. We couldn't quite get it out because last week or whatever. But just if y'all want to expound upon it, how you feel about that?
I'm gonna say
I
this.
mean, I just think that he. Oh, I was just saying that I think that he made a smart move by making the situation with his mom or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't be, you know, divorce rape and shit.
Yeah,
Basically.
man.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This type of situation goes beyond just having something in my mama's name. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that out there, that goes beyond just having something in your mama's name. What they're
Hell
doing
yeah.
is they're protecting their family legacy.
Facts.
So with that
Speak
being
on that.
stated, is everything that was ever
Speak on
generated because his grandparents and his regular parents understood that once you become married, the whole legacy is at jeopardy with the women in these newfound laws that don't hold them accountable for the behaviors and the actions that they do. We always want to judge a man and put him under the scrutiny. Actually, the man is the one that has the how should I say this? The obligation to be honorable. To be honest with you, so it's just
Exactly.
like with all of these things that happen, it's like he gets a dealt an unfair hand for any minuscule type of misunderstanding and stuff like that. The women these days always want to feel like they're entitled to everything a man is, even things that you never even was there for to even help be a part of. And that's what that trust represents. It protects the family. If you have babies with the family and you really down to be riding with this man, then you're going to do what it takes to make sure the family is safe without putting that man in jeopardy because you're supposed to care about him. And the fact that as his wife, she didn't stand by his side. And one of his most, craziest
Right.
moments of his life got to be the boy only 24, 25 years old and he going through a scandal. That should be the most support he should be getting from at his current time with her being his wife, but she thinking about getting away with dollar signs, with the money. And like I say, you got a lot of women getting married just to have a luxurious retirement. That don't make any sense. But not to be long-winded, they protected their family legacy. And if anybody care about their family legacy, that goes for the men and women of your family. You should be doing similar things because not only that, she showed her true hand when she tried to sue that man and try to get at him for the money that he wanted. Similar to the Lisa Ray story, where she got married to the dude from the islands and stuff like that. He's supposed to be some type of prince, and she's more upset about her being able to divorce him and take money with her instead of thinking of the fact that she's a woman who has ways of making her own money, and she should go back to focusing about how she's gonna build her own name and brand by her own two hands since she's so independent and she's such an intelligent woman. But you're looking at the bag that you could get from this man. Women got to stop that shit if they're really trying to prove that they're not all about the money. And for that woman, she opened up the door just like Lisa Ray would have opened up the door when Al Sharpton and his cohort had to basically let Lisa Ray know that if you go after your ex-husband, he can turn around and he can go after you once you get back into your career and you start making money again and doing movies. He doesn't make no money legally under his own name and stuff of that nature.
So he's technically broke, and he can file and claim for half of your shit, which is the same situation that this football player is in. So when his wife initiated that situation, she opened up the door for him to go after half of everything that she owns. And she ain't no broke female. She's not as paid as he is or his family is, but she's not broke. And the thing is, you thought you were gonna take half of that man's shit, and you open up the door to your own demise.
I agree.
And this is what women got to understand. Women, if you want to keep preaching fairness, equality, really be about that. Really mean that before that stuff gets you put in a situation you don't want to be in.
Well,
Or watch
you
your
know
mouth and
what?
stay in your lane.
You know what? And on that note, you know what I'm saying. I want to segue into this topic. You know what I'm saying. Um, the topic being well, this is a question. You know what I'm saying. Miss Decisive, you still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right, that's what's up. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. Well, oh, what you was about to say? Sound like you had something to
Well,
say.
I was about to say y'all sound like single men. And are y'all familiar with some of the marriage laws, from state to state? Like,
What?
first of all, once you're divorced, like, you really can never go back and go for arbitration unless it was some type of physical altercation between the two. Like, once it's over with, as far as getting into the funds of either ex, like, that's not happening in any state. And then on top of that, like, I'm not familiar with the whole story, but here's my thing about the alligator and the
Came up
no,
on the
no, no, no,
island.
I'm
Are
talking
you
about
talking
the
about
football the
the
football player.
or are you
Football
talking
player.
about
Yeah, I'm talking about
you
the
talking about
football
the
player.
football, the soccer player?
Yeah, like,
You know
y'all
what I'm saying?
talk
In
about
America, we call
legacies and
football soccer.
yeah, y'all talk about legacies and stuff, but legacies are built through the building of families, not by giving it back to your mama and daddy. That's not how legacies are built.
Since we're in the
Legacies are
United
built
States,
through
we can't
family.
call it legacy.
Legacies are built through marriage and children. It's not built through, you making sure your mama and daddy got your money just in case something happens. That's not how legacies are built.
Yeah,
Hey, Defensive, your
you
signal
missed
going
the
in and
point.
out.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
all
we
over
catch
the
we
place,
we
Mr.
catching
Cypher.
every
Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. You guys still there?
women have had a hard struggle in America. It's talking about accountability. We're talking about accountability within the. We're talking about accountability in the series. You know what I'm saying? Who is willing? I don't even want to get into it all like that. All I'm saying is, if you look at what already was already presented, I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with a woman that's saying that men get just as much help as women do, when we know that's not true.
So the question was, and the two-pronged question was,
I
saying
know what
how
you were
can
saying, but I'm just
how
it
much
sounds like it sounds like my sister Decisive felt differently for that when she get a chance
Well,
to
let me
respond.
tell you, I was gonna say that you guys are talking about the laws that apply to women and men, and like men made these laws of the land at the end of the day.
not melanated men, correction, not melanated men.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Mr. Decisive.
Men nonetheless made these laws, and I just want to backtrack a little bit because you guys couldn't hear me clearly, but and talking about that football player that was getting a divorce, and you guys talking about accountability, this motherfucker out here is a whole ass rapist and shit. That's why she left his motherfucking ass. And then
Has
on
that been
top of that,
proven?
hmm,
Has that been proven?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with it, but that's
Well, we
why she
can't say that.
left.
It's alleged.
Yeah,
It's alleged.
alleged,
We
but
can't
guess
say
what?
that.
Alleged enough for her to leave him. Like, and
But
Right,
that's
but
how
we
you
crazy.
gonna
She
just
did
say
that.
she didn't have no ulterior motives though, Decisive?
It was
You
interior
honestly gonna sit here and
enough
act
for her
like
to
that girl? First of
divorce
all, she
that's
him.
married
why
a
she
dude that was
lost.
younger, that's 12 years younger, her 12 years her junior. And then all of a
Okay,
sudden,
okay.
she wanna go ahead. I mean, I'm just saying. So why don't women feel like when they marry a dude that's younger than them, we still want to hold them to the same position as if he's a man that's older than her and wiser than her? That man's not wiser than her.
I mean, Beyonce. I
When
mean,
she got a 12-year
Jay-Z's
age
older
gap
than
on him.
Beyonce, and look at they mess.
You said what?
I mean, but that goes back and forth. All across the world. Where older people, younger people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it excusable. And at the end of the day, you
I'm
guys
saying
talking
older
about
women in
legacy.
general. Why won't older women accept the responsibility that you're going to come off more wiser in a relationship? So the
Well,
thing
I
is,
don't
they
know about that
complain
because
about
I
as
don't.
far as like, go ahead.
I don't know about all that. And I don't know in depth about, stuff like that. All I know is at the end of the day, you guys are talking about legacies and stuff. And legacies are built off of the building of families, something that he obviously didn't have any intention on. Because how long were they married? Less than a year, right?
no. I
They
thought it was longer than that because she got with him when he was 18. I thought
Yeah, they were
Who
he's
left
yeah, they
who?
24
were
now.
dating when he was
Who
18,
left
but
who? Who left who? Did he
She
leave
wanted to
her?
get a
Or
him.
divorce from him when he
she
got
left
into that
him.
scandal.
She left
When he got
him.
into that scandal,
So
she
she
wanted to
left
leave
him.
him.
So that means
I'm
that
just
she
saying
wasn't
that
about the legacy.
when you speak of
She can't.
legacies ain't built off of making sure that your mama and daddy keep your money tight. Legacies is built off of
No,
family and the building
We
of
it
talking
is.
about
family.
the
That's
family
the
unit.
family. That,
Decisive. We
no, no,
said
no.
that.
That's incorrect. Mr. Decisive.
That is
The
not
legacy starts.
incorrect. That is
The
not
legacy starts
incorrect.
with whoever, what family member starts the trust, who starts the legacy off, and the name that follows that. So the name followed the son. The son that got married to that woman who he was bringing into the legacy, and then she chose to leave the legacy. But he was smart enough, and his family was smart enough to hold down the legacy by putting it under trust,
Hmm.
regardless of whatever allegations he did. The family's money can't be stolen just because he made a stupid decision. Even if he was a rapist, it don't mean that the whole family should lose their cash. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where too many times that in the melanated community we ain't got our paperwork together. You understand what I'm saying? And these European, what I'm saying, ones that are not on our side, they come through and take our shit, and we ain't got our paperwork together. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain: if your paperwork together, they live off the rules and the laws. Where we tend to say fuck the laws and the rules, they generally follow them. So if we got shit occur according to rules, you know what I'm saying, it bucks them. It holds them back. So that's what he did. Like, he held back a woman who tried to dip because of an allegation. It hasn't been proven yet, and you're supposed to be married, and you dip and try to steal all the money. Well, his family was smart enough to know that since they got a young millionaire son, you understand what I'm saying, or grandson, nephew, you know what I'm saying, all of that, you know what I'm saying, that they're gonna protect the wealth by putting it under trust. Like, that was just a smart move for the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
That
and you
sounds like
create a
ill
family first.
intentions, and I totally
How
disagree with
how
what
does
y'all
that
saying
sound
about
like
this,
ill intention
due
though?
to the
Hold
fact
on,
that
hold on, hold
y'all
on,
just
hold on.
willing to smooth over the fact that this man was accused of rape, whether we know for sure or not, because obviously ain't none of us follow the story that happened,
I
and
mean,
she's
we
not
He's
following
wrong
a
the
for not
story.
famous
want to be with
That's why he's
athlete.
somebody
How
getting
who's
many
a
away.
famous
rapist.
athletes get accused of rape and don't be and don't and did not do the crime?
You know
All
how
we
easy
saying
it is
is
to
the
And
story
accuse
then
a
need to
kid
there's
be
rape.
put
some
out.
that are, and then there's
It,
some
it
that
ain't that
aren't.
much. It ain't
Obviously,
that much
she
rape
not
going
playing.
Oh
on.
my
You know
She
what I'm
not
saying?
God.
playing an
Like
R. Kelly wife and acting like she don't know. Period. That's
all
what
of
it
But
them
we
boils
don't
chicks
know
that
that.
down
All we
all
saying
of
is
them. R. Kelly is a bad example because every single parent that had anything to do with them children that got fucked by R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying, is wrong. Every single
to.
man and
Okay, well,
woman.
there still are
But
instances where
that's a bad example. You know what
okay,
I'm
well,
saying?
so
there's
But
so
still existences where men were doing some conniving shit and women
it's
did
even
not
more
walk
instances
away.
where you know what
well,
I'm saying.
how come we don't have this? How
Even
come we don't
wait,
have
wait,
the same ridicule for the
Hold
women
on, y'all.
when
Hold
they
on,
get
y'all.
caught up in
One at a
these
time.
situations?
One at a time.
hold on. Even in my personal experience, you know what I'm saying. The first girl that I lost my virginity to, this bitch lied to me and said that she was fucking 15. This bitch was 19. I was fucking 14. You know what I'm saying? She lied to me about her age because I had a little facial hair. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Who's wrong
And then
about that?
also,
Yeah, I
and
got
then
some. Hold on, hold
also,
on.
It's, I
Yeah,
mean, that's
I got
obvious
some.
she wrong. But why you
I'm
pointing
just
right
saying.
back to the women?
So,
We talking about a man that did something wrong and a woman that didn't want to have nothing to
just
do with
saying.
his life because
we
of
was
what he was
talking
That's
about
not.
how
doing.
the men
How is she wrong about that?
That's not fair.
How she
That
because
wrong
she's
about
I,
supposed
what?
to
That's
Trying
support
to
not
her
leave,
fair to
trying
her
to
husband.
leave and steal the
either. That's
bag.
not
She's
her
supposed
It's
to
her
so
support
husband.
her husband. That's how
so
she was wrong about that.
so
She tried
She's
to
supposed
get
to
the
she's supposed to stand by her man, you know what I'm saying,
I'm
through
not
thick
standing
and
by
thin.
no damn rapist. If you rape somebody, I'm not standing by you.
If he
okay.
got found
So
accused, yeah, but he was just
Who
accused.
is
So
gonna know?
anytime
What if
somebody
I know
accused,
these things have a
hold on,
plan in our lives
So
that
someone
that's
it
not
don't
fair.
matter. If someone stole
how is
something
it
from the
not
store,
fair?
right?
How is it not
If someone hold on. That's just like the policy enforcers, the so-called police, the cops. You know what I'm saying? Every time that a melanated man, a so-called black man is accused of doing any type of crime, any and every melanated man is now accused by that same crime. And so any and every man gets picked up and pulled over and bullshit like that. That ain't
well,
nothing
you,
right about that. The
well, you,
accused, you understand what I'm saying? The accused must be, you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. You understand what I'm
thank
saying?
you.
You innocent until proven guilty. Period.
So I just
Like,
wanted to I just wanted to
I'm gonna
throw out a
find
real
this story.
yeah. I just wanted to throw out a real quick statistic too that people don't know. Even though quote unquote we make allegedly maybe 14% of the population, we are over 50% of the population that's been wrongfully accused that have done prison time for rape allegations that we didn't do. And we only make up 14% of the population within Northwest Mexico.
And
So
you got to be
understand
a man to understand that. You got to be a man to understand. I got accused of 2 situations that I had nothing to do with it just because the female could just say my name. And all the evidence proved me not to be that type of person. But it still didn't stop my name from being fucking said around in that situation. And that brings shame upon a man, whether he ain't do it or not, because you got to hear other people talk about that shit and then form their own opinion.
period.
Now you get to see people's true nature and their true intentions of how they feel about you.
Man, I gave this girl a hug one time and she told the block that she gave me head. I
Like
had nothing. I
what
did
kind of
nothing.
shit is that?
I did nothing sexual with this girl. I did nothing at all sexual with this girl. You know what I'm saying? I gave her a hug and she told, you know what I'm saying, the hood that she gave me head. Like, like that's some bullshit. Like motherfuckers
yeah.
talking about that shit. You know what I'm
So
saying? At the
So
so I
time,
want
like
until the verdict
that's crazy.
had been reached, that woman should have had remained his wife and supported her husband publicly until the situation proved to be different. Because right or wrong, you're supposed to be rocking with your mate. You don't sit there and plan no
Especially your
divorce
husband,
when they go through
your
a
husband or
scandal.
wife,
What kind of shit is that? And what husband leaves that woman like that?
right?
yeah.
Ain't shit
Because
ass husband. That's what we gonna say. Ain't shit ass husband. Anybody would say
right,
that.
and that's why the ain't shit ass wife tried to bounce and didn't get shit. Haha, her fault because she was stupid. She should have stood by her man. You understand what I'm saying? Because when it come out that he's wrong or right, that'll prove that she made the right decision. But she made a rash decision regardless because she didn't stick with her mate, you know what I'm saying, to find out the true verdict. You understand what I'm
And
saying? Like
the funny
that's
part about
bullshit.
it is women who know that they guarantee the bag or who feel like because there wasn't specific things said to be able to determine on who has what, they always the first ones to initiate a fucking divorce once they get married to a dude who got some bread. But the ones who take the time and is calculated and make her sign paperwork and shit, don't women just don't just smash out that relationship that fast. Because it's a process. They understand that I'm working to be in this relationship with this man. This man fell in love with me. This man likes me. He wants to be with me. Now I'm going to keep this man in my life. When we talking about
and that's why
dependability and a woman honoring her obligations, you just can't sit there and get mad and then turn around and slide. Y'all talking about boyfriends and petty ass. You know what I'm saying? Little boys who just wanted some pussy and they stabbed. And at the end of the day, I know you had to get the instance from this man that all he wanted was some pussy. Just because you withhold a pussy from a man don't necessarily make you a good woman. What else represents you? What builds you up besides your vagina?
and this is why, you know, saying I clearly stated in this two-pronged question, how can and how must women be held accountable, and how can and how must men be held accountable? And as you see, the three men on this panel, we hold one another accountable on certain things. Like when we don't agree, you know what I'm saying, we three men with different opinions, different life stories, different all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And we still, you know, we hash it out. You know what I'm saying? We might not even fucking talk for a week, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we hold one another accountable. Whereas women just be like, oh, fuck it, girl. Do you see what she doing? Oh, hell no. But don't ever say nothing to the one they talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is not holding one another accountable. So it's my premise that women need to hold women accountable, because it seemed like when men try to hold women accountable, it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, men is hating on them or something.
That's where men going wrong. That's where men is going wrong. That's where men are going wrong at. Because it's not our job to hold women accountable, like you said in the beginning, when you said at the beginning of the conversation.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's where men are going wrong. When you're trying to hold a random woman you don't know accountable for a situation or try to give her some advice, it can't turn ugly because she's already been giving a setting in which she doesn't have to be accountable. So you sound like the crazy one at that particular point in time. Because you're telling her she can't do something where society and everybody else around her is acting like she is allowed to do that shit.
And it's
You gotta preach to your woman, your niece, your cousin. And that's sad to say when you're trying to be a community. But it starts with taking care of the women that's in your family, because these women are reckless out here with their mouth. And you can't just up and just spark a conversation with a random woman you don't know or a young girl you don't know, because they have been trained to automatically label guys as perverts and deviants, sexual deviants, or rapists. So if I approach this woman and she already ain't even liking my vibe, already I'm any one of those titles in her head off top. And then if I'm trying to be adamant about trying to tell her something, now she gets to verbalize all kind of abuse to me publicly, and I gotta take that, because then everybody gonna ask me, why am I fucking with this female? This is the shit that we got to go through with our community.
Yes, I agree. I just
so if the women ain't gonna hold each other accountable, then she gonna be out here on that dumb shit.
Yeah.
But men understand when they are homosexual. They understand if they're a good man. They understand they a bad man. They understand when they're an ain't shit ass dude. They're gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah.
Women will agree to being something until they find out that the fucking description of that title ain't really what they signed up for.
Right. Like, for instance, so many women that get with dudes, right, that that don't eat pork. And then the woman, she stopped eating pork while she with him. Like, I literally was just kind of dating this chick, you know what I'm saying, who had a mom who used to deal with this dude who was Muslim, and she stopped eating pork. She started eating right and all of that shit. And as soon as they broke up, you know what I'm saying, she jumped in with, you know, she jumped back in with the swine and everything else, threw everything to the wind. You know what I'm saying? And I done heard a situation similar to that so many times, you know what I'm saying, where the woman, you know, she was on some righteous path or whatever path. She was on the path rolling with that guy. And as soon as she left that guy, she got off the path and went back to the old ways, to the apple never fall from the tree type ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit crazy.
Now, what I say about when it comes down to holding each other accountable to be more reasonable, men can hold each other accountable by not accepting this freaking new age fucking metrosexual type of thinking. Like that's not for everybody. And we got to understand there's a base level of how you do things in life, at your job, in your relationship and shit like that. There's a base level you got to perform at to be considered a regular individual, a C-level individual. Everybody keep coming in with these quirky ass new ways of doing things and shit like that, and you want to make that the new norm. You can't just slap new norm on shit and then be saying that, well, this is how we rocking now. So you can't, because you're
I
a
ain't
person
part
that
of
can't
that we.
perform on a normal basis. Go ahead, Aki.
No, I'm saying I ain't part of that we. Go ahead. I ain't mean to break your, I ain't
No,
mean to break your wisdom, brother. But I always gotta let you know I ain't whoever. No, I ain't part of that we. When it be a
no.
we, when it's a whole conglomerate of fools doing a whole bunch of bullshit, like people wearing masks in their car and dumb shit like that, and everybody lining up to get jabbed up with some poison, like shit like that. I'm going the whole total opposite direction.
Okay,
Like,
I
well,
got you.
I understand where you're coming from, Aki, and I'll
Mm,
make sure I'll be very descriptive about what people I'm talking about. What was you
mm.
saying, Mr. Sison?
I was going back to this story, y'all. I definitely urge y'all because this is what I do to research.
Okay,
So he's Moroccan. He
okay.
Yeah,
is
Mauritania.
the yeah, he's the sixth highest paid African footballer, earning more than 200 and what's that 45,000 a week for what he does, but he's currently locked up right now. He was indicted on rape charges. She didn't get nothing, but you know what's awful about it is they got two kids together.
Okay.
The
So
You
children
know,
have the children have a legacy though, decisive. You got to understand that just because she didn't get something don't mean his children are left out in the cold.
what about their children being taken care of right now though?
they
Then
get
she
She
taken
shouldn't
shouldn't
care
have
be.
to do that
She should.
alone.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Sison.
No, I was saying she shouldn't have to do that alone.
the
She's
family
not.
is gonna
She,
take
but she has a
the
family.
children.
He has a family.
Yeah,
Them
the
children have
family.
a family. Them
It's
children have a
different.
family to be a part of.
They're in the
Okay,
Yeah,
trust.
right,
they're in also in a different country. Don't forget, this is not United States situation. So
right,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying. So the family is gonna take. That's a quote unquote
That's her
Muslim country.
argument, y'all. Y'all got to read the story. That's her argument, though. Like it's okay for
Okay.
her, to not have nothing, but for him to not have to, be have an obligation to his sons. Like, come on now.
I
That
think he does.
and you sit your ass in jail. You release some of that money to make sure that she can take care of your kids.
So
Period.
so I'll say this. This is why what's so important about us as indigenous people understanding law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, as they say. And
Mm.
anything that's
Hmm.
formed in affidavit is in the form of a truth. And an unrebutted affidavit stands as truth. And I say all that to say this: just
Stands
because
as
you don't
law.
understand just because you don't understand the proclivities of how the law works doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't apply. I'm quite sure this man not only wrote them in there, he wrote all of the people that are the trustees within that trust. They're getting benefits. Don't think that
No,
just
you
because he's
can't
going through
make
this.
up this shit for him. He didn't do shit but get a mother, his mama Amanda his money.
So I got
It's
you.
called
So I'm gonna
it's
put some
called a
facts.
trust.
Period. Like,
So
look, ain't
so
nobody
so I'm a
perfect. We got grimy
so,
women out here, just like we got grimy ass men.
right,
They had only been married since 2020, and
right.
obviously, long term
How
wasn't in
does
his
that make
ways.
him grimy? If
So so
He
as long
wrong,
as
y'all. Not every man is gonna be right about what they do, just like not every woman's gonna be right.
I
This
agree to that.
motherfucker is a nasty ass rapist, and it was proven. He's sitting his ass
You
in jail
can't.
right
He's
now.
No,
sitting in.
how? So they have.
Justified.
Hold on. Wait.
No,
Stop. Is he sitting in jail waiting to get a verdict?
Yeah, he got.
yes, because
Yes.
he listen the way it goes in Muslim countries in Arab countries is this: if you're indicted of rape, you're gonna sit your ass in jail because if you get convicted of rape, you're getting a bad or worse punishment than you'll ever see in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, of course.
it's looking terrible
Of
for him. Just
course.
to be accused is slandering his name. And if it
yo,
come out that he
Of
didn't do
course.
it, you know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
Then
literally just
you know
said
what I'm
that
saying?
shit. I literally just said that shit, and it is too many situations. We've had too many situations where women have lied, of all ages have lied. Yes, R. Kelly did some shit that was not acceptable. But this nigga does not create the new norm with how we look at dudes. Like you cannot keep putting dudes These are innocent people too. We just can't say by default
Okay,
because he
keep
has a
putting women
penis
in this
and he was
position.
called a
Like not
rapist
all
that he
women,
did that shit.
not all women is a lazy gold digging bitch either.
I
No,
don't
we're
like.
not
What are you
saying that.
talking about? Like, you gotta listen. Like, seriously,
I
No
do.
one
this
said.
is a
No one
serious
said.
situation
Y'all been
because
No.
paying
you
Well,
don't
attention
well,
have
to
well,
women
no.
out here
Mr.
that's being
Hold
Roderick.
accused
on,
No
of
one.
rape.
hold on,
No
hold
one
on,
said.
hold on, hold
Well,
on, hold
well,
on,
no.
hold
Right. No one said anyone was a gold digging. You know, what I'm saying now in this situation, it's unfortunate. You know, what I'm saying how certain groups are portrayed, you know what I'm saying, in different countries. Again, we must remember, we must keep in mind first and foremost that this is not the United States. When we talk about Morocco, we talk about Al Morocco, we talk about the Maghreb Al Aqsa. That means Morocco, the
on.
farthest west, aka over here. You know what I'm saying? So again, that country over there gained independence from France and became Morocco in 1956,
Right.
1952 to 1956. That's a different Morocco. Noble Drew Ali got the Moroccan flag that Moors fly over here in 1913 on the books is documented, you know what I'm saying, from Philadelphia in the Library of Congress. So that's a whole different story. But we have to remember that in the Arab country, you understand what I'm saying, women are not looked at as equals to men, period. I mean, they are, but not really because of culturally, Arab culture, but not necessarily Islamic culture. You understand
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying? So
Thank you.
that's the confusion. You understand what I'm saying? So in Arab countries, you know what I'm saying? So for them to, you know, make a trust like that, like as long as the wife was with the husband, she's part of the money. So even if he got convicted or whatever and she chose to still not, you know, divorce him, you know what I'm saying, but she still stayed with the family, even with his allegation, she still would have been part of that money. But since she chose to omit herself out of this shit, she put herself out of that situation. Because again, this is not the United States. They do things different over there. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like those Muslim women are different from say the Muslim women in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam women ain't going for that shit. It's a total different mindset. So keep that in mind. This is not United States. It's
No,
not the United States. So it's totally different. You know what
so
I'm
I just
saying?
right. So I just want to caveat and just say this, Mr. Decisive. I just wanted to say this. I understand what you're saying from that perspective, but what I'm saying, quite sure, 9 times out of 10, I no, I'll say this 10 times out of 10. If a person is smart enough to have a family trust, the beneficiaries and the people that they have that act within their benefit of the people that's on the trustees are going to take care of them. That is for certain. That is absolute. Nobody will
And
ever.
also the dude, just to tell you this, the dude himself, if he convicted and all that shit, he's gonna omit himself out of the trust. Like he ain't gonna be able to get no money. Like they might be able to put some money on his books or some shit. If it's like if he even can do that in that country, you know what I'm saying? But he gonna be put out of the shit too. Like just because like that's just on the surface. We don't see what's going on the inside of that trust. Like you've now disgraced the family's name. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? The money's just not stolen. That's all. And in United States, people just be getting their money stolen. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of good fathers out here getting their money stolen every single paycheck by a greedy bitch. You know what I'm saying? Who ain't spending all that money on the children. Her hair be popped, as they say. You know, her nails done, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Every trip, and her kids look raggedy. Her children look raggedy and shit. You know what I'm saying? And she get paid from her baby fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's the baby father hustle. And we see that shit going on every single trip. And there ain't not one father out here that's on the baby mama hustle on that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Now it's niggas, it's I mean, excuse my French, you know what I'm saying? It's people out here that's, you know what I'm saying, it's men out here, you know what I'm saying, posing as good dudes to fleece women, and that's a rare occasion. You know what I'm saying? That's also the occasion that women chose to be with. You know what I'm saying? So we can't make that the norm for all men because no man on this panel represents that type of man, nor do we really, you know what I'm saying, have those type of dudes around us. You know what
And
I'm
no
saying?
woman
Like
on this panel represents that type of woman, but they
I
exist
We
know,
know
no,
that.
on
I
both
know for
sides.
sure, exactly. Oh no, we're not saying. I definitely know that you're not that type. You a
This
married man,
decisive,
shit.
we've been
Just
told you
just to
several
let you.
we told you several million times, gazillion times That you come
What?
from a special case. You are a unique type of woman. You've
What?
already been given your own lane.
Not even just that. Not even just that. Let's hold on. Not just a special case, but also normalize the case that you are actually a married woman. You know what I'm saying? Like on the aspect of the people that is holding it down. And have a good relationship going. Just like brother Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Who was also a married man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With a lovely wife, and you a lovely wife with a strong husband. You know what I'm saying? So just to put that down there, you've been married for what, almost 20 years, if not 20 years this year.
Yeah.
I think
20.
this year 20 years or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been knowing you long enough to know your anniversary coming up. And same thing with my bro. He
It
coming up on
passed.
5 years
It
and shit.
passed already.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
well,
she right. She
congratulations.
right. She remember it passed out. No, it didn't. It didn't pass already. Look at you. You about
Yes,
to
it
get me in
did.
trouble,
March
decisive.
4th. March 4th.
You talking about for your relationship?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, March 4th.
All right. Well,
Because he was
congratulations.
saying he
You
was
know what
saying
I'm saying?
mine was coming up, and you was like it passed already. It confused people.
Right. So congratulations. But so you know what I'm saying? Like when things got rough, even personally, you know what I'm saying, as knowing you as a friend, you know what I'm saying, I can consider you as a friend from knowing you for these past 3 years now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when things got rough, you know what I'm saying, in life, you know what I'm saying, because life happens to everybody, you didn't run. You ain't run off with the bag. See what I'm saying? You ain't run off on your husband.
I wouldn't.
And when shit got rough, and when you had to bag, your husband ain't run off on you. See
Right.
what I'm saying? So that's a real situation.
But the
But in
truth
this
is too.
situation,
The
the
truth
truth to the
is too. I
matter
want
is,
to know.
oh, go
The
ahead.
truth is too. I want to know. Your husband, like any other man, could get caught up in a rape situation and they did a motherfucking thing wrong, and you as his wife wouldn't know that. You would stand by him, even if it sounded crazy or something. It could have been something crazy. You would still stand by your husband, right? Until they
So
I
have
maybe,
actual
I
proof
swear we would
to
we've been
say
knowing
that
each
he
other
was
since
that he
10
did
years.
what he did.
Yeah.
That's all we
Honestly,
so
saying for
you
her.
know, like I've been knowing my husband. We was babies. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So
so
maybe in that instance, maybe she knew that maybe he did some shit, and that's why she left. But
hmm
she left and didn't. I mean, maybe so. That's
But
on
if
the
I
I
was
very
I was
few
speaking
cheated,
to the
cases.
if I
testament of just
cheated,
decisive being
yeah.
strong next to her husband. They
I
have to
get
have
it.
Right,
proof. She's not about to get ready to
right,
leave her dude just because they saying that shit. They gotta actually physically prove that. When the evidence say that, then okay, then we slide it. That's what we
right,
contesting to. I'm not
Yeah,
about to
but
get
right,
that
caught
is
up,
so
and it's
true.
real
I really
easy
don't
as a
take
dude
it
to get caught up
wrong.
on some rape shit, especially when you have some type of influence or financial standing.
Yeah.
facts.
You have to you have to put walls up to not get in that situation.
Yeah.
That's how
Yes,
crazy
you
it is. You
do.
can't be a regular guy with some type of look about yourself, class about yourself, financial standing about yourself, and not get caught up in a situation where a woman is talking about what you did to her. As long as she can make the situation sound right.
Mm.
Yes, you got guys out here that actually did that shit.
Right.
But it's a lot of guys that get caught up in that shit decisive and ain't did shit wrong and they be suffering
Yeah.
consequences from that shit. Losing endorsement. Just the old boy. He didn't even rape the girl. He got accused of just putting hands on her
Yeah.
and lost endorsement deal. Dude from Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Oh
lost
yeah,
money.
they
That's what I'm
put him
saying.
on
As
the
a man,
inside. Yeah. See now.
dudes, just real name come up in
Man.
situations. It's
Man.
hard to bounce back sometimes. It's not cool to be that. And men be needing as many supporters as possible,
Yeah.
so
especially when it comes down to women.
Hey, but
so I
let me
think
give y'all a little insight
okay.
about the dude from Creed. Do you know that Dr. Umar told him, leave the white girl, do not get caught up. And what he do, first thing he went and did was grabbed him one. And this bitch was no good because they got proof that this bitch was lying and they still ain't came up off of him.
That's his fault.
I thought
That's
she
his
I thought she admitted her statements that
Yeah,
she
she
she told
admitted it, but they still ain't they still taking endorsements and shit away from him. You know what I'm saying?
you
Movie
right,
roles and shit. Oh, cause of that's fucked up.
But
and
that's
that's all we
also,
saying.
our weak place of power in politics and media structures and shit like that too. We need to own more of our own shit. You know what I'm saying? We
Hey,
need to
look,
own
hey,
more of
look,
our
hey,
own
look,
shit
hey, look.
so we
You
can
preaching
stand
to the
behind more of our
choir.
own shit.
You
Y'all
preaching to
both
the
For
right.
real,
choir,
for real.
brother.
Y'all
Huh?
both right. But
I
Oh,
you
said you
know,
preaching to the choir, brother.
man,
you,
what?
you
That's all I like to
that
talk about, man.
go ahead. That does
For real.
hit a lot of things at home though.
Yeah.
When Dr. Umar Johnson talk, most of the time I don't listen to the brother. But
Yeah, I ain't gonna even front.
20% of the time he do say some shit that's worth listening to.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. The
he
other
said
times
a lot of good shit. It's just the classes, all that Pan African shit. I can't really get with. You know what I'm saying? Because Africans we see every single day in most communities around the United States. Africans don't fuck with so-called African Americans.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Like, so
Right,
you know,
right.
I'm not trying to go over there and buddy with them motherfuckers and they see how they act with over here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Nah, we need to get our own shit together so then we can come at each other in a level of respect. And
right.
then, you know what I'm saying, then the barriers is gonna come down. You know what I'm saying? But when someone come and they feel like they over you, the respect level really ain't there. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's really what it be. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Like we ain't been portrayed enough in the media with respect. Like when we see them now,
After,
like we know we all know like now that Africa ain't all fucked up with starving children and shit like that. We know it's balling cities and shit like that. We see them dressing like us and things like that, and got their own little style that's branched off of our style or whatever. Because we create culture around the world as
yeah,
as true Americans. But what I'm saying is, our people really ain't portrayed in a glorious light around the world. You know what I'm saying? We looking crazy and shit across the world. You know what I'm saying? While other countries look crazy at one point in time and they pulled their bootstraps up and now they looking good across the world. We ain't done that lately. You know what I'm saying? As a people. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple rich niggas, excuse my language, but it's not a lot. It's individuals, but it's not communities. And that's, you know what I'm saying? It's everybody else, rich communities of everybody else, even rich communities of different African countries. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's poor communities, you know what I'm saying? They still are together. So it's an actual community. They're all helping one another. You
That's
understand what
right.
I'm saying? Where we ain't got that. And you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where I disagree with brother Omar Johnson. But when it comes to child psychology and different things like that,
He's
he's
spot on.
correct.
He's
He's
spot on.
correct. You know what I'm saying? He's correct. And like the way he probably like how he put the Christians on the wall too. The Christians in the church. So I agree with his position on that as well. Um,
mm-hmm.
but
So
he
oh,
hypocritical. Like all people can be hypocritical to a certain extent. We not always gonna agree with you know uh everything that we say.
But that's the reason why you get to have your own opinion and choice.
Right. Exactly.
so
Because
so I want
everybody won't agree on everything.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
I
Right.
said it's a baseline. It's a baseline where we all come together at.
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
that's
line
why.
that keeps getting disrespected and distorted.
Right. And I think that Claude Anderson, you know what I'm saying, the brother is ingeniously, again, one day he went to a Christian church and he said in the South, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible Belt in the South, and he said that we're all non-immigrants. You
mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So regardless if you think that you came over here on a slave boat or you know that your family been here for the whole American experience since Europeans came here
Mm-hmm.
and way beyond, way before, you understand what I'm saying? We're all non-immigrants because both of those designations mean because if you were stolen and brought here, that means you was forced here. So that means you're non-immigrant. You was brought here as cargo. And if you was already here, that means you didn't immigrate from anywhere because you was already here. You understand what I'm saying? So that both classifications makes us non-immigrants, regardless of what your religious persuasion is, or what part of what place you came from or didn't come from. You know what I'm saying? Or always been from. That means you're a non-immigrant.
Mm.
No, that's real. And that's real. So
I'm
I want to get in.
indigenous.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Like indigenous is a colloquial term. Like if somebody doesn't want to be more or whatever. But yeah, we all right. But I just wanted to segue into this next story really quick. Um, brother Akeem Muhammad was telling me about this. It was a man and wife that had their baby taken away. I don't know too much of it.
Yes.
In Texas.
Yeah, so
Yes.
if you want to talk about, if you want to expound on that, Akeem, you more than welcome to, because you know more about it than I do.
Well, honestly, I don't, Mr. Decisive. Do you got anything to speak on that before I go with this story?
it was just some racist old bullshit. They got pulled over, them pulling them over, them searching them, all that shit was unjustified. They took their kids anyway, because Caucasians is some damn violators, and so they had to fight through the system because they got all their kids taken away and put into a foster home. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't even all together. They got split up. But they found, I think, what, this past week or last week, they got them. They got all the kids back.
Oh,
Mm.
alhamdulillah.
After going through all the, first of all,
The
everything that
trauma,
happened to them was unjustified.
right?
They
Everything
didn't
that
have
happened to
they didn't have
melanated
no
people is
drugs. They didn't have
unjustified.
no guns.
Yeah. So,
Just that basic case of bullshit.
that's why I always say, from the beginning, that's why the show's called Merlin Meets the Eye.
Mm-hmm.
MUUR represents the Moors over here in America. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's why I say that we need nationality. You understand what I'm saying? That's the number one thing that we as a people don't have on the collectivism aspect. You understand what I'm saying? Simple fact that we can't come together as a people, you know what I'm saying, and represent one another, or should I say, support one another at court, you know what I'm
Both.
saying, under one banner. That's what
Oh,
holds us back. Any type of political
Mm-hmm.
power. You can't have any political power calling yourself black, period, point blank. As soon as you say that you're black, you have no political power. As soon as you say you're a minority, you have no political power.
Yeah.
Unless you're aligning political power under their agenda. If you allow yourself to be called a minority, you're allowing them to call you a child that's an adult. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So now they can walk you around, they can give you this benefit and this privilege and shit. And as soon as you do something that they don't like, they can take it away. You understand what I'm saying? So what freedom do you really have? You understand what I'm saying? So other people, other nationalities, like they can't just storm up in no Nigerian spot. You know what I'm saying? And we all know Nigerians been scamming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
And and guess what? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can't just run up in their shit because why? They're protected by their own country and everything. You know what I'm saying? They have their own protections. You can't just run up in the Glendale store with the Indians. You know what I'm saying? You can't go up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like they run that shit and they have countrymen behind them. And they're on our land. It's our country. We got the most countrymen. We got the most countrymen, but our country ain't together. Our countrymen ain't together. We got the most countrymen. They got us believing that we're less in the population. You know why? This is how stupid we is. You know what I'm saying? Until we wake up. You understand what I'm saying? They told us, and they never changed or overturned that we were listed as 3/5 of a person, right? So that means it takes two people to equal one person, right? So then, if it takes two people to equal one person due to being 3/5 or 1/3, either way, 1/3 or 3/5, they said both. You understand what I'm saying? Both of those designations mean it takes two melanated people to equal one. So if they talking about whatever population, like right now, we probably at about what 50 million, 55 million people. So that's times two. You know what I'm saying? It's always times two. So it's 100 to 110 million melanated people, so-called black people, and that's the ones that even signed a census or registered to vote. Because there's a lot of people that don't put they name or appellation on shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be listed on nothing.
Can
You
we?
understand what I'm saying?
Can I get more into that for a second? Because I
Go
was
ahead.
going to
Let's
mention
rock.
that.
Let's go.
So y'all know that I am. I've been looking into this and working in this thing as far as being council person for the Ward 1 neighborhood here. Because we got a
Alhamdulillah.
clown in
Oh,
action.
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
and
that's good.
what I found out is that there is monies for in categories. I'm gonna tell it.
Mhm.
There's money in categories based on race,
Of
and
Yeah,
course.
definitely.
one of the things that play a role in what we receive is the census, and only worldwide they said only 9% of our population, our race, do the census. And so therefore when we don't do the census, guess what that does? It cancels out funds for the neighborhoods, because hey, if they don't know, we don't, if they don't know we can't grow, we don't get the funds. But if you say it's families here that's got one or two people working in the household and they still struggling and stuff like that, like, I wish this fool, I swear I'm a little conflicted. I hope that my friend, my longtime friend and mentor, steps up, because he was thinking about it before I said it, but he's trying to push me, and I really want him to take place and do it. First of all, it's just something about him being a man, and for right now, that's just what's necessary, desired, and required for our neighborhood. For another man to stand there strong, because Terrell Pruitt was a clown. Joe Jones is a whole ass clown out here and uneducated.
Yeah.
So when we don't fill out for the for the information on our neighborhoods based on families, based on housing, how
What
much we make and stuff, we cancel out funds that could help us in our neighborhood.
we just need to like have classes. We need to give classes on how to actually fill it out properly, because if you listing yourself as Negro, Black, Colored, African American, or any type of
Yeah,
minority
or
designation,
other, or
that
other.
that that, that right, or other some other shit that they can
Yeah,
list
but you're
whatever
allowed
that they
on this,
want to.
but on
Yeah,
that
but listen, what
form,
I'm
brother
saying.
Noble, you're
I
allowed
got
to
you.
fill out the other, what the other is.
Right, exactly. I'm saying we need to know what that other is. What I'm saying. So
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're allowed to input that. It's not just
yeah,
a
for sure,
checkbox and other. You're allowed to put in what your other is on that form. And
for sure.
it's people that walk around these neighborhoods that get ignored and offer to go through filling out this. They'll fill out the census for you.
Right, right. No, you ain't understanding what I'm saying though. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
this. What are you gonna put down on the census? Is what I'm asking you personally, because it's a way that I signed that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's certain designations and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying that we should have classes on so we can know what to put properly, so we'll be represented properly in
I
law.
got
You know what I'm
got
saying?
you.
As opposed, you
I
see what I'm
feel.
saying?
Yep, 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 yep. I
Like
sure do. And that is a good yeah. I feel
so
you
we
on
can
that.
so we can hold power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
a lot of like I mean,
I
and
feel
to
you.
sign the census incorrectly could put you in uh bad designation. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
learned this during the census time. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I was tapped in with the right people. You know what I'm saying? But with their knowledge that I know now, you know what I'm saying? I can share that with ones who are coming into, say, for instance, going, getting with the census. Like, you know, true enough, what you said is based off race and different things like that. But what is your race? What really is your land? And how can you
Right.
prove it?
And if
And
I
certain
put down
things
that
that
I'm a
need to
more
be said.
American or indigenous American, would they respect me and count me in as a member of my community under said
Yeah, that's a start.
ethnicity? Absolutely.
That
I
that's
understand.
that's a start.
I
That
understand.
is
Yes.
that's a
Yes, I
start.
agree. I agree. I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree.
No,
Definitely.
that's real. That's
Yeah.
real.
I'll definitely
Um,
make that a known point. I will definitely make that a known point.
as far as
Let me
the story with the couple, was y'all good on that? Was y'all want to segue to
Okay,
another
that's
topic,
fine.
or
We can build on that.
I mean if you
um,
want,
ba-
go ahead.
basically the couple being Tamika and Roddy Jackson, who was married. Um, they had gave birth to a newborn baby girl they named her Mila
Mm,
Jackson on
mm,
March 21st,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
and they had a midwife who was
Dula.
yeah, there you go, who
A
was
doula.
already accredited, and she had went to actual medical school and stuff like that and got her licenses and accreditations like she was supposed to, but instead of becoming a regular doctor, she decided to become a midwife.
Mm-hmm.
So when she gave birth to the girl, it was in her home. The girl was healthy. But there was people basically telling them that the child needs to be once the hospital. Some people made some reports to a hospital about the girl being born in the house. So they felt like that the couple needs to bring the child in for just a regular checkup to see how things is going to go. So how they was able to coerce the wife into doing that or the husband into agreeing to that, I don't know, but she ends up doing it anyway. The first initial checkup, they give the baby a sound bill of health. Nothing was wrong with the baby. They're good to go. Then she gets a call that she has to bring the baby back up for another checkup by a male doctor. So he checks the baby and then says the baby has dangerous levels of this yellow substance that is linked to having jaundice. So the limit
That's
is 20.
bullshit.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I said that's bullshit, man. Like
Oh,
I said that I spoke that on the show once before that they've been telling all parents of newborn babies that their baby got jaundice so they can put them under the blue light and prick their foot. They checking their blood type and shit. If they are they trying to extract that blood. You know what I'm saying, on the early side and shit. You know what I'm saying. And also shoot them up with them fucking jabs and shit. You know what I'm saying. That's what they doing
so
right now. They've been doing that for the past at least 5 years.
so basically the doctor insists that the baby should be put under phototherapy, which is
Right,
probably
blue
the blue
light.
light system
Right.
that you was talking about. And,
Nah, right.
the
Crazy.
the couple stated to the doctor that that's okay that they will go through with the treatment, but they're not going to go through the treatment with the hospital. They're going to continue to use their midwife like they've been doing. So the doctor basically gets upset and keeps requesting to the couple that they need to use their facility in fear that the midwife would have inadequate equipment to be able to perform the procedure correctly for the baby. He
And so,
also threatened the couple with using CPS if the couple did not comply with his request to bring the child back up there for the treatment. So after
so,
they stood their ground, the doctor turned around and he called CPS to go up there and then get the child. With them taking the baby from them, they also end up taking their other children too. And with the parents trying to do what they're supposed to do to get the children back, they end up putting the children up for adoption and they had to fight to get the
Wow.
children back.
Oh,
mm,
wow.
man,
Wow.
so that proves that Moors must get their motherfucking paperwork together. That proves that ones need to get their shit together because when ones got their shit together, they can't do that to your children. You understand what I'm saying? When you put
And
your children,
uh,
when you put your birth certificate in your family trust, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like different things like that. When you create the right, when you put it down like that, but also when you got a nation of people like you, that shit ain't happening to no fucking Chinese kid. That ain't happening to the Indian children. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about
hey,
the so-called Native Americans on reservations because they getting fucked over too. The Siberians who came across the Bering Strait came here and met the Olmecs. But you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't doing that shit. To, they really ain't even doing that to Mexicans who got their shit together. You understand what I'm saying? Where you see like people make jokes how Mexicans do all the goddamn work, but them motherfuckers rich by doing all the work too. You know what I'm saying? They keep their money in their community. You understand what I'm saying? And they not doing that shit to people that other than the melanated, you know what I'm saying, the so-called black and brown people, so-called. You understand, for lack of better terms. You understand what I'm saying? But um that proves that we need to get our shit together. I mean, we have to get our shit together. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you had a nationality, if your nation of people said we're not participating into the child support system, then we won't. You know what I'm saying? Like I personally have done a baby's, you know what I'm saying, birth manifesto. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I forget exactly what we call it as Morris because I only did it one time, but you understand what I'm saying? I had a red stamp pad and all that shit, like real talk, like made the babies, you know what I'm saying, real live, like born records. You understand what I'm saying? Like from a Morris perspective. So now that baby came in
I've
the
seen
world
that
without
before.
having without having the birth
Yeah.
certificate and without
Yeah, I've
having that
seen
social
that
security
before.
number and shit. You
Hey,
understand what I'm
look,
saying?
real
Like
quick.
that's real.
Yeah, hey, real quick,
Um,
you guys. I just want y'all to take a moment to holler
Mhm.
at some of the people that's listening to in on the chat to y'all live. Shout out to brother Daryl Bay. He's wanted me to tell y'all Islam Wars.
Islam.
Islam, baby.
He said
Islam.
they better exercise their birthright, you know.
Fact.
Yeah,
Fact.
yeah. So he's a shout out to the brother Daryl Bay. He's a good brother. We
Hey,
gotta have him on the
Damn.
show when
Hey.
he
Delray.
get back to
Hey,
CBS.
you got a sacred name, man. My seafood, my old teacher, Daryl Thomas Bay. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, rise in power. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got a good name. You know what I'm saying? You got a good name, my brother. Shit,
Yeah,
for real. Good appellation.
yeah, we stand
And
on
you're
that.
absolutely right. We must exercise our birthrights. You understand what I'm saying? And if we don't, as a people collectively, you understand what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna lose at. That's what we miss out at. You understand what I'm saying? When we don't exercise that right that we have to give to ourselves.
That's sad.
That's the right that we have to give to ourselves. That's a right that cannot be given.
It can't.
But
It
the
can't be
privilege,
taken either.
but if we accept the privilege, it can be stripped away.
Oh, indeed. Big difference.
Hey
You
y'all,
understand what I'm saying?
the sister India said the same thing. Islam Moore. She said you wouldn't believe the other day what I went through with an employer about them calling me a minority. She's like they tried to look
Well,
at me
look.
like I was crazy. You know.
Look, Shawty. Well, look, sister. You know what I'm saying? Who has a job? This is Noble Khan, Paul Jones Bay speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? On that aspect, look up this terminology. It's known as pecuniary remuneration. Ever since 2014, when I used to work, you know, at a job or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So from 2014 to 2020, you understand what I'm saying? Because 2020, the industry that I worked in fell apart March 14th, and that's when I just became Mystic Herbs Healing Code full throttle. You know what I'm saying? But from 2014 to 2020, I had purchased a document from a Muur for $10, and the terminology is pecuniary remuneration. Any finances paid me is pecuniary remuneration. I don't make um, taxable wages, income, or anything like that. Anything given to me, any finances, notice the wording that I'm using. Any finances paid me is pecuniary remuneration. You understand what I'm saying? And also in this document, one page document, it clearly pointed out that you can't be an employee unless you work for the government. So if you don't live in, if you don't domicile in so-called Washington D.C., right? Or if you don't work for the government outside of that, then you're not an employee according to business law. You understand what I'm saying? So look up pecuniary remuneration. You understand what I'm saying? That'll help. That'll help masterfully. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? When you get that, like, man, at the end of this show, I'm a matter of fact, when I get my information, please tap in on one of the information ways that you know what I'm saying that we put out there. You understand what I'm saying? So because I'll give you the document, like real shit. You can put your name on it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need it no more. You know what I'm saying? But real talk. If you don't work for the government, you're not listed as a true employee. So you ain't got an employer unless you work for the government. Just one. I yield the floor.
Mm. Yeah,
Islam.
yeah,
I'm also say this from the perspective of what I'm saying, still jumping in the workforce here and there. A lot of people don't know about their own nationality, especially when you're talking about Europeans and
exactly.
Irish people and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
Germans. They know very little. Well, the ones that are over here in the states, I'm going to say that the ones
Yeah.
that have naturalized over here in the states, they they don't know enough about their own family. They're just as dumbfounded to the true history of this land, and they only know what they've been told. So when they
That's why
say
they call
things to you,
themselves white.
go ahead. Yeah, when they say things
And
to you, they getting robbed too. They're getting robbed too. You know what I'm saying? It may not be as bad as us. You know how
It's
we're
not.
getting the treatment, but
It's
when you
not.
call yourself a color, you're under the same scrutiny and everything that goes along. The
the
same
color
laws
of
apply to
law.
you. You're being tricked. You're being tricked in similar ways too as well. So it's like it's actually an informative conversation when any outside individual, be one of our people, somebody else person, is speaking to us.
I agree.
So I wouldn't
I,
necessarily just get offended right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Just, tell them how it is briefly. You ain't got to break down your whole life story to them, but let them know how you coming. Now, respectfully, they want to keep trying to call you a minority type, title. Then that's when we in checking season. Because I
Well,
told you
well,
already what time it
yes,
is and
sir.
how I'm rocking.
well,
Don't play with
well,
me.
well. The thing is, just like a bully on the schoolyard. You know what I'm saying? The bully that's kicking everybody ass. You know what I'm saying? He might not even kick that many asses, but the one ass that he kicked, it was so known that his reputation preceded him, and that's what we must
Right.
do. You understand what I'm saying? In all these scenarios and situations, our paperwork, our reputation must precede ourselves. You know what I'm saying? When it deals with the things that we put forth, and guess what? It's not the paperwork that holds the magic. It's the power that you put behind that shit. It's just that, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying, the paperwork is just in writing. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, at the end of the show, you know what I mean? It like that document is literally on my flash drive, real shit. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my French, excuse my Morris Latin. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse the
Yo,
laughing.
you can get this shit and hit the people up at the Joe. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
you don't have an employer, you're not an employee unless you work for the government. Now, if you work for the government, you are an employer. I mean, you are an employee and you do have an employer. But if you don't work for the government, I'm telling you, this document you can give with your what W-2 or W-4, whatever form that you get when you get a job. You know what I'm saying? You can reattach that. You can refill it out at any time. You can change your that first initial tax form. You understand what I'm saying?
At any time
Like
of the year,
shit,
yes, you can. It's right.
real shit. You know what I'm saying? And that I-9 form, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you listing yourself as who you are, not as who they say you are. Let them know you better not be no United States citizen, no none of that shit. You better not. You know what I'm
Hell
saying? You
no.
better backtrack that. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is our land. We nationals to this shit. We foreign to this shit. We foreign to their jurisdiction in their actual real republic. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other story for a whole nother day.
No,
But
I agree. You gotta, and I just want to say this really quick too, for all those people out there listening. Like it really, because I was, because we're still studying, we're still, we're still progressive learners, right? So the thing is, I'm still shocked at the fact that a lot of people, just like Mohammed said, just like Brother Noble said, I've literally had expounded on a conversation for 20 minutes because I had told somebody I was literally at a job. Matter of fact, I was filling out application other man filling out paperwork for orientation, and literally, uh, a woman. I don't know how we got on the subject, but she said something. She was like, "Yeah, us as black." I said, "Well, I told her, I said I have no education with that anymore." She's like, "What do you mean you ain't black?" I said, "No." And she's like, "What? What are you?" I said, and I just told her, saying that's not. I told her a little bit about nationality. She like, "Nah." And this woman was well within her 40s, and she literally looked at me like, "Nationality." There are people that don't even understand the difference between race and nationality, and understanding that. So it's not to make fun of anybody. It's not to say anybody's belittled or they're stupid for they don't know. A lot of people they've done a great job with hiding the truth, and that's just what it is.
right, right. Well, um, hmm, I would say, well, before we get up out of here, actually, I wanted to, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to ask how y'all feel about the disrespect of the so-called administration that's sitting currently in office. You know what I'm saying? Right now, um, their disrespect of melanated people, of melanated nations across the world, and you know what I'm saying, the smack in the face that it's doing to us right now. So, Mr. Slicer, do we got enough time to build on that, or should we wait till next week? Well, shit.
Mr.
In that case, you know what I'm saying. The reason why I asked that, because that's a real live, real live discussion that ones need to have and shit. You know what I'm saying? I think.
I
What
agree.
what, what you think about that, my brothers? You know what I'm saying? You want to touch bases on that right quick, or what?
So, I mean, what's the question before I answer? I don't want to look goofy.
Okay, well, the question, you know what I'm saying, or the comment that I have, you know what I'm saying, the statement that I'm saying is, you know, the what the fuck is up with the disrespect of the Biden administration against melanated people across the world? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but you know, they've been going to African countries and offering gayness. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of presidents like, no, we do not want that shit in our country, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then on the flip side, the disrespect to us, they didn't gave over what $80 billion to Ukraine, while
Oh
all this
yeah.
shit over here is inflating and all this other shit. They
Oh
didn't
yeah.
gave all this money away, and then they still telling still telling black people, so-called black people who call themselves black, um, that you can't get no reparations. Like, it's like a ultimate. It's just like a super slap in the face, a kick in the shin, a punch in the grill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
No, you're right.
motherfuckers still people still rock with them. Like, what's up with this? That, like, how do you feel about that? Do you see that blatant disrespect? How does that
Oh,
make you feel, my brother? Like,
You know what? On a side note, real quick, I'm about to answer a question. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I
hey,
forgot what even the reason why Ukraine was even in the situation that they was in the first place.
right? Because it don't matter to us because it has nothing to do with us. Like, who cares?
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
they're
Like,
racist anyway. They never
why
liked us anyway.
why do they need help again anyway? You know what I'm saying? But
Why, why
when we
they
spend
need?
so
Why
much
do they need?
time,
Why they need your tax dollars?
when we spend so
uh,
much time
uh,
allowing other people to claim us instead of us claiming ourselves like we're supposed to, we get wrapped up in other people's problems by
who is
default.
us? Hold on, brother. I feel you on that,
Well,
but
our
who
people,
is
our
us?
community, brother. You know what I'm talking about. Our community. You
No, I
don't want to
don't.
talk about
You
who that
don't.
was us, but you did say there was a separation. But
Okay, you talk about.
it's
Okay,
easy to
yeah,
get
yeah.
it's easy to get confused sometimes. It's a separation,
Okay, okay.
but our
No, no.
community of people, when you
Okay, you talking about us melanated people, right? Because a
correct
lot of
the
times, like, when
melanated
we talk
people,
about, right, because the rest of the world don't hate us as a melanated people. The rest of the world are confused at our actions, but you know what I'm saying, they're waiting for
I never
us to
said nothing
stand
about
up.
hate, Aki.
I know. I'm just saying, we just make that distinction because, uh, the so-called United States don't give a fuck about the melanated people. So, when we say us, make sure you're talking about the us that look like you and me, and also who think like you and me as well. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? As a us people, you understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about as a melanated people, misnumbered Negro, Black, colored, African American people on this land, you know what I'm saying, misnumber United States, you know what I'm saying, of America, you know what I'm saying, the true Americans, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, shit.
Aki, I just figured that when what I was saying, Aki, was already understood and not be
I'm just saying,
discussed.
all right, my fault, my brother, you know, so I ain't mean to break your wisdom, my brother, but you know what I'm saying, go ahead,
He
my brother.
funny.
So how that make you feel though, my brother? You know what I'm saying?
Trying to find my kufi so I can turn it sideways, brother, because you have perplexed me, brother. I don't like this, brother. um, see,
I mean,
I lost my whole tangent now, brother. Thank you for that, brother. Well, yeah, let's show more solidarity in our natural ways, people. That's how I want to go ahead and put that off because right, the Biden, all right, there we go, the Biden situation. Yeah, look here, I don't even care about what Biden doing. We just need to hurry up and get out on our shit as a people so we can separate ourselves. 'Cause that's what it's gonna boil down to. Is he ain't doing nothing but appeasing us with little trinkets anyway. Like I said, the disrespect is because we keep easily accepting these little trinkets when they are making off with the bulk of our nation's finances
mm.
and our legacies. And they
What
keep
trick
giving
is
you,
they talking about?
they keep penny pinching that shit and giving us a portion of that shit, and we accepting that shit, willing to sell out, give our shit away. Like we got to stop doing that. And so, my personal opinion, I think Biden is just exercising a way of thinking that has been going on a long time in the circle that he's been in, or he's been able to be privy to. Like, if y'all gonna let me use you, I'm gonna use you. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say he probably used so many of our people. He don't even care no more. The boy's so old. He just moved without thinking. It
Exactly.
So
clearly shows.
so we could take an example, what I'm saying, from our cousins across the pond, because there's a lot of African countries who have turned down those, so-called billions of dollars and shit like that that have been millions upon billions of dollars that have been offered, what I'm saying, to different African countries to allow the, you know, ABC, the EFG, LGK agenda and shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? To seep, its insidious clause into their country's politics
I agree.
and politics. You know what I'm saying?
Solid true. Yeah,
Like how they stood together in solidarity against that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas we, as a people, have not, and so remain weak
I agree.
in that aspect. I guess we could take a page out of their book
Why do
because
you
we keep
think?
getting slapped.
Why do you think that that keeps happening? Where America's okaying all these transgender and gay laws, where other countries are not.
So
Uh, why do I
Because
think that?
the U.S. is a radical ass country that don't give a fuck, and all they care about is adding people to their numbers and their ranks. So
Mm,
by any means necessary is all they've been showing over the course of history.
But
mm-hmm.
it's wrong. It's actually. I mean, ain't nobody adding to our ranks. Our ranks are
No,
falling
I said the
drastically.
U.S. I said the U.S.
The
Aki.
U.S.
I ain't say
Okay,
I ain't say
right.
America.
The
Americans
U.S.
natural, the
Right,
natural American. I said the U.S. bro.
right. Because the U.S.'s allies are dropping drastically. Is what I'm saying, dwindling rapidly. You know what I'm saying? Even France, the country, the European, the EU country of France. You understand what I'm saying? Has now left the USD and went for the Chinese yuan. You understand what I'm saying? And France, historically held all the wealth that was stolen from the so-called Templars, and those was the other Christian, powers outside of the Pope and the Vatican. You know what I'm saying? Who held all the bread outside of England? You understand what I'm saying? So that country has left different EU countries to deal in the Chinese yuan. You understand what I'm saying? Kenya have foregone, what I'm saying, the USD to use their Kenyan shilling, what I'm saying, to pay for things. You understand what I'm saying? Like people are leaving the
agree.
the United States. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
No, that's real. You
they
know.
leaving it alone.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say this. You know, it's a distinct like. Shouts out to Professor True because he dropped a lot of fat on my head with understanding these things and as far as how the politics go.
Is that why your
We
head so big, brother?
oh, you
Dang,
funny.
big head science is there.
Listen, you funny. Hey, yeah, you funny as fuck. No, but I just think it's just like I said. I mean, I don't understand why people thought that he would have our best interests at heart when all we got to do, like
Right.
we always say, is just look at history. Why would you think a person of his caliber would have our best interests at heart, especially
Have
when we
have
already are
melanated.
missing
When you
on
say
Mr.
R, my brother, are you talking about Moors or you talking about black people? What you talking about?
I'm talking about Moors and black people. I'm talking about Moors and black people. He doesn't have best interest for
Huh?
neither one. He can't do nothing. The difference is he can't do nothing to the Moors because we understand how to put stuff down. But if
Huh?
he could get over on us, he will. If he can, he will. I mean, that goes to the United States Corporation to begin with. But you know, you keep on letting a pot-bellied pig eat at the table. He eventually gonna get used to eating at that motherfucker. He's gonna start feeling entitled. And here you are.
Right. Right. Dig that. Dig that.
You know,
I think that yeah, we better stop looking stupid on the worldwide scale. That's how we look on the worldwide scale. To answer your question, Miss Decisive, um, we keep allowing this shit. When I say we, I'm talking about melanated people in general. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I talk to a deeper we, you know, ones that have proclaimed their nationality, you know what I'm saying, know that they're Moorish American, you know what I'm saying, they have took it a step further, you understand what I'm saying, to distinguish themselves from the commoners. You understand what I'm saying? Being a noble of the land, being a national of the land, that makes you a non-commoner. That rises your political, your social status above that of a peasant and from a commoner. You know what I'm saying? Just off top. So, and same thing as everyone that has a nationality. If you notice, the ones that have risen themselves above being considered just a color, they're owning stores and gas stations and all of that shit that we shop at, grocery stores and all type of things. You understand what I'm saying? It's a reason for that, and we need a part of that too, especially on our own shit. Because the way that it's going, the way that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually laid it down is that he left the Europeans in power just as long enough so we can learn what to do with the things that they stole from us, the things that they learned how to do from stealing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you know they stole us and stole everything or whatever, and then taught us because they stole us at a point in time, stole our mind. You know what I'm saying? Had us believing that we were slaves and shit like that, walking around with no chains on. You know what I'm saying? And now that the time has come for the awakening, the great awakening, now it's time for ones to receive back. You understand what I'm saying? What was lost and what was taken. So it's time for us to get our shit together, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and let one another know that the power comes within unity. And the only way to truly unite is under one accord, under one vine and fig, under your own vine and fig tree. And your own vine and fig tree is the real American flag, and the real American flag is that Moroccan flag, because Morocco, our Morocco is our America, our America. All they did was change the vowels. You know what I'm saying? That's all they did. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing that you thought was the American flag is actually called the Star Spangled Banner of Amity and Commerce. It's the Star Spangled Banner of Amity and Commerce. It's not the American flag. The American flag is the Moroccan flag. And so-called Morocco, that used to be called Mauritania by Rome, you know what I'm saying, became Morocco officially again, you know what I'm saying, in 1956. You know what I'm saying? But this was Morocco at one point of time, this portion of the Moroccan Empire, correction. You understand what I'm saying? And know that in the empire, you have kingdoms. That's why it's the Kingdom of Morocco. And it's the Moroccan Empire. There was something known as the Empire State, aka New York, where it was signed on the top part of like the history, it go down. You know what I'm saying? So this is our shit. And once we come together, collectivize, you understand what I'm saying? We cannot be stopped. And as you see, everyone else does, because this United States is a corporation. So that's why we must live in trust, because that's a corporation. It's like a corporation. You understand? It's stronger than a corporation. It can hold your corporation. But that's why everybody else put everything in their business name and different things like that, or as you see it, Mr. Decisive slide slide Moroccans and shit, putting their family shit in trust or whatever, so they can do some sly shit and get away. I'm just saying, that's just how business is run. Just however you look at it, yo, it's smart, it's good business, you know. So I guess that's what we could take away from this, man. Get our shit together in our personal, relatives, our personal tribunals. You know what I'm saying? Our personal tribunals. Family structures. You understand what I'm saying? Because it wasn't tribes, it was tribunals. But tribunal jurisdictions. You know what I'm saying? That they looked at it. They looked at it from a savage point of view and called it misnomered at tribes, but it was really tribunals. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, before we leave out though, I want to bring up you know, an herb and crystal of the day. So in relation to having a heart, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about things dealing with the heart. Now, before I mentioned, say cayenne pepper, you know what I mean? Um, how cayenne pepper, if someone literally like had a heart attack and a stroke, like right in front of you, if you had cayenne pepper, you can put some cayenne pepper in their mouth and they will come back to life within 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Within 2 minutes of the brain dying, the brain dies within 2 minutes, like the body. You know what I'm saying? Like you can bring them back to life. You know what I'm saying? Like while they're restricted, while they're having an arrest. You know what I'm saying? That cayenne pepper will release that arrest. You understand what I'm saying? But if you drink hibiscus tea on a regular, you won't have those afflictions. You understand what I'm saying? And even more importantly, what about hawthorn berry? Right? Hawthorn berry is the berry that actually strengthens the actual skin that protects the heart. You understand what I'm saying? So that hawthorn berry, like say even people that had like say heart attacks before, or and they have a stent in the heart. You know what I'm saying? A stent in their heart now, so, and they're like bypassing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Hawthorn berry builds up those muscles of the heart. You know what I'm saying? And as we know, beets. Now beets are popular. A lot of people like drinking beets because they increase the nitric oxide and different things like that. Now hibiscus takes care of all of that. It lowers your blood pressure as well as your blood sugar. Beets, on the other hand, uh, they increase the nitric oxide. But one thing, the danger with beets are that they contain oxalates, and oxalates can build up in your, basically in your kidneys as stones. You know what I'm saying? Over time. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to kind of stay away from certain things that create oxalates, like beets, and also like popular things like spinach. You know what I'm saying? Spinach is great for you, a lot of things, a lot of great things, but it also contains oxalates. You know what I'm saying? Which can build up in your kidneys. But anyways, that's enough on the herbal vegetable superfood side, right? Now, when it deals with the crystals, let's talk about the heart stones. You know what I'm saying? And it's three stones that I wanted to touch on. Three uh stones for the heart. And the first one that people know about is rose quartz. You know what I'm saying? Rose quartz is a crystal that helps you. It kind of like steals away your pain and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? People having emotional, situations, or like a broken heart, um, rose quartz would be a great stone to meditate with. It'll kind of like get you past that scenario to acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And then rhodonite, pink and black rhodonite, is a pink and black stone. That stone helps you to be like kind of um gentler to the outside world. It helps your message be received a little bit better. I probably should get some of that, right? Then you got then what I'm saying, then you got this stone. It's known as it's called rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite. Notice all the pink stones that all start with R, but and I don't know what that's about, but that's a telling sign. But um rhodochrosite helps with acceptance of the world and also accepting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like shit, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow's a new day. You understand what I'm saying? So those pink stones in particular are great for the heart, great for the heart energy. You know what I'm saying? Like people with a heart murmur, you know what I'm saying, can benefit from any pink stone, but specifically stones known as rose quartz. You know what I'm saying? That will help the heart regulate and slow down. Just the vibration, you know what I'm saying, is a loving vibration. So it'll balance the heart, you know what I'm saying, the heart chakra. You understand what I'm saying? And that rhodochrosite that I mentioned, that's the stone that actually can be placed on the higher heart chakra, which is basically the place known as the thymus. You understand what I'm saying? And that right there is basically the body's immune system. It's like your starter. You know how like people get up under the car and hit the starter with the hammer? That's how your thymus, you know what I'm saying? Your thymus is like right below your throat and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right below your collarbone. You know what I'm saying? And that right there in the middle, right above your sternum. That's like your thymus. You can tap right there, boom, wake you up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just wanted to let y'all know, keep that in mind. I yield the flow.
Cool.
Excellent. Where can they catch you at, Arcade?
But you can catch me at to get some of that information. You can get that document, that pecuniary remuneration document. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram at I underscore, and I'm talking about the letter I underscore am underscore the real underscore Noble Khan, NOBLEKHAN. And for any health matters or anything like that, you can also hit me up at 919-766 2951. You know what I'm saying? You can hit me up again at 919-766-2951. And again, it's Noble Khan. Get at me. Holla at me.
Brother Muhammad, where can they catch you at, our kid? Give them the spiel. Muhammad.
Yeah.
I said, where can they catch you at, our BB?
You can catch me on IG under EJ Cleve. Y'all can hit us up also on More Than Meets the Eye at gmail.com. And you can also hit us up on More Than Meets the Eye on YouTube. Send us videos, comments, likes, anything that you want us to speak on.
Cool, man. Cool, man. The last certainly not least, the host and the ghost with the most, man. Totem Polo, for those that don't know, man. Hey, man, the more bodies out of sight, man. It's LO. You can catch me on A, capital J, three uppercase I's like numeral 3, Cleveland, on IG. Holla at us. Bow!
Treat us like a pawn, imperialize the lawns. If we ain't bearing arms, how we really strong? How we gonna go to war if our pockets ain't long? Create a black Wall Street, then they dropping a bomb. Manipulate the weather, then creating a storm. Hanging is a norm if you don't wanna conform. Now cases is adjourned without a concern. Racism ain't genetic, it's gotta be learned. That the jail was where they need to be without a return. They say it's free but freedom. Simply gotta be earned. Constitution in old ways. Simply gotta be burned as the world turns. Research cause you gotta discern. Study up, cause there's always knowledge to learn. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more. Why they claim peace instead they giving us war? True Ali is in my core, his principles not ignored. Love, truth, and peace is worthy to be explored. Freedom and justice essential so we can soar. As above, so below ain't a motto, but it's a law. Geometry sacred, this power can open doors. Why they mention this slavery, but not what happened before. If you want me to vote, reparations they need restored. We deserve more instead of beating down on the floor. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more. Feel it in your pores, I'm excellent like a more, like a more, like a more.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in to More Than Meets the Eye on the station where we don't bring no static, but we shut up bring the noise on staticradio.net. Make sure you guys check us out on social media where we absolutely love to hear from you on facebook.com/No Static Radio LLC, on Twitter at No Static _ radio. Don't know how long that's going to last. On YouTube, of course, on here at No Static Radio, and on Instagram at The Real _ No Static Radio. Also, if you guys would like to listen to replays of this show and all others on the platform, please check us out on Mixler or Mixcloud.com. Just type in No Static Radio on the toolbar for replays of this show and all others. And for continuous streaming, that means no refreshing the page. Just sit back, relax, let it do its buffering on its own, and boom. You got us on tunein.com, live online radio.net, or MediaQ for continuous streaming. You can't go back. It's all live, but it's continuous streaming, Like there's nothing you need to do. Just sit back, relax, and, just listen in. And of course, for all things on Static Radio, including up and coming events, merchandise, and an in depth look at all our great show hosts here, please check out our website at www.nostaticradio.net. You guys, and thank you so much for tuning in on this Motor in Mind Day Monday. And one more thing, this is important. I gotta make sure that you know, for those that need the help, we let them know on more and a better better basis than what we've been doing on this day. But if you know a family member or a friend or a loved one who needs help, who's been affected by violence, know that it can affect your lives in all types of ways. It can affect the way you eat, sleep, cause you to lose focus, for angry, or afraid, or afraid to ask for help. They use drugs or drinking as a way to escape, but the Trauma Recovery Center is here to help. 216-644-5487. Again, on the screen, 216-644-5487. They will give you the tools to rebuild your life and your health. They offer services for food, clothes, safety, emotional support, and a whole lot more. So do not let violence control you. You can break free, and TRC can help. Again, the number on the screen, 216-644-5487. They will come to you wherever you are. They are free, they are 24/7, and they are confidential. So if you want out and don't know where to start, give them a call. Again, they can give you the tools to rebuild the life and your health. They can give you the tools to rebuild your life and your health. They can give you the tools to rebuild your life and your health. Call today, 216-644-5487. The Trauma Recovery Center of Northeast Ohio, also affiliated with the Center for Families and Children. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You know that we're partnered with Google and Colors. Also sponsored by Lamont Avenue Wines and the Hot Girls gear. We'll get the Cleveland Rugby League back soon, but yeah, so make sure you guys, hit them all up. And I'm going to go decisive here for more than BCI, and I'm out. Peace.